10. Milk money. It's a milk chugging contest. A dozen or so competitors are gathered, and about twice that many stand watching. The competitors are sheepish, made sheepish that is, by the presence of two football players among them, Dukes and Bill. Dukes with his stocky build, red face and shifty eyes, and Bill, tall, solid Bill. As he lifts off his shirt before the competition, we see he has a forest of hair across his washboard stomach. Bill is calm and collected in front of the crowd, like Bogart, Grant, or Connery. They commence the drinking. At first, one of the skinny guys keeps pace with the football players. Adam's apples are working hard, dancing in the competitors' necks. The skinny guys show their inexperience by sipping the bottle, then stopping to breathe. Sipping, breathing, sipping, gasping. Bill is silent and persistent, slowly guzzling, not letting his lips move away from the bottle. He has performed this feat before, upside down in repeated keg stands at repeated parties. It is a skill he has honed with which the pencil necks cannot hope to compete. The plastic jug contracts from the vacuum created. Dukes is faster. The vacuum in his jug seems slightly greater, but a skinny guy is still trying to keep up. The first to break, to lean over the trash can in defeat, is a skinny guy with a goatee. Milk comes out of him in bubbly spurts, looking gray when it dribbles in his black facial hair. Two other skinny guys stop and put down their jugs simply from the sight. The crowd is cheering now. This raises the stakes. Dukes is ahead, and his football friends begin to cheer for him. Unlike others in the ring of spectators, they gesture, cheer, and jump. Their limbs enter the circle. Dukes takes the jug from his mouth and waits. They cheer louder. Dukes! 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 Bill still drinks, slow, steady, unstopping. Dukes, smaller and stockier, smiles and shifts his eyes to his teammates. It's a contract, a deal between a clown and the audience that they all know. Dukes' face says it clearly enough. If you cheer for me, I will drink. They do not cheer for Bill. Bill still drinks slowly and has yet to remove his lips from the bottle even once. He drinks because he chooses to. Another skinny guy vomits. Two others drop out with him. Dukes waits, the cheers building, the pressure in his stomach growing. He drinks again. More cheers. The sight of white streams running down his neck sends the football players into full-throated ecstasy. The goatee boy is still vomiting. Bill is still drinking, sucking slowly, his jug imploding from an imbalance of atmospheric pressure. Dukes pukes. First a cough that produces chunks, then a thick stream. His head dips. The crowd lets out a collective, "Ew." He drinks again. There is a girl in the crowd. Her hair is dyed blue. Smurf blue, she likes to call it. Smurfette is tattooed on her ankle. Her fingers are shaking. As she tongues the ring in her lip, she wonders if it is nicotine or caffeine she is jonesing for. Normally, she might be one to protest the injustice of such a wanton waste of milk. There are starving children in this city, she might say. But she doesn't. She decides it's nicotine she needs. She lights a cigarette and cheers for Bill. This is way too much fun. Bill stops, leans over the can, and sticks his finger down his throat. There is method to his madness, an element of purpose in his gesture. Is he trying to make himself barf? A girl asks. He's trying to make himself barf, another girl says. Nice, the Smurf girl says. Bill knows he has to vomit before he drinks more. It is the only way he will catch up to Dukes. Experience has told him this. Dukes knows this too. He stops drinking. His teammates grumble. I have to barf again, he says. Bill's finger in his throat didn't work. He pushes it farther, his hand disappearing to his knuckles. He chokes, coughs, but nothing except a few stringy drops are produced. A skinny guy lets out a gush of vomit. He collapses beside the trash can. He's out. Bill drinks. Dukes drinks. It was only ever between these two. Their faces grimace and their bodies contort with involuntary muscle contractions. These are reflexes that have served the human body for millions of years. Vomiting is an action like breathing, defecating, ejaculating. It is accompanied by a surge of stimuli to either encourage or discourage future repetition. In vomiting's case, it is, of course, accompanied by unpleasantness, negative stimuli, a neurological reaction meant to remind the body of primeval man. Next time, don't ingest that rotting wildebeest carcass, that berry, that mammoth gizzard. They will never drink milk again. Bill needs no help from his finger now. He chugs, he bends. For some reason, the crowd does not ew as much when he does this. It is not funny. He is handsome and noble in his pursuit, and his vomiting is tragic. Dukes is the buffoon. We want to see him vomit. We relish it. When the milk is coming out of his nose and he puts his finger to his nostril and blows, we cherish it. Dukes blows out his other nostril. White shoots out at an angle. His teammates howl. So do we. Bill drinks. Dukes drinks. The skinny boys watch in silent admiration, trying to smile, but their stomachs are constricted in knots with milk that they imagine curdling with them as they stand there under the hot sun. One of them looks at his own vomit. It reminds him of feta cheese, liquid, yet chunky. He will never touch cheese again. Put him in a body bag, Dukes! Go, Bill! Suddenly, Dukes' plastic jug is empty. He lifts it from his lips, and foamy bubbles drop down. The football players roar. The crowd gives a smattering of applause, drowned out in the immediate vicinity of Dukes by his own teammates. A man in a BigCorp.com shirt approaches and hands Dukes a certificate. They, BigCorp.com, organized this. They wanted this. They bought the 14 jugs of milk when they were cold and sweating on the store shelf. They sat back watching while all this transpired. Why do they want to? Money, you suppose. It gets them publicity, customers, and applicants. Money makes money. Milk makes money. Milk money. Dukes is still vomiting. The liquid he is expelling is darker, rosy-colored. The effort exhausts him, and he leans heavily on the can. But he still looks up between spasms and smiles at his teammates. His teammates slap hands and turn to look at a girl. Dukes cannot think about sex right now. Only the white gathering on the bottom of the can engages his consciousness. The smell is overpowering. Bill vomits long, graceful streams, preceded by a tightening of his back and a slight lean downward, like a push-up atop the trash can. Even in sickness, he is suave. He finishes, scratches his belly. There is no look of shame on his face, just cool Sean Connery panache. He squints his eyes and shakes his head. That's all the people get of his defeat dance. A shake of the head, a squint of the eye, as if to say, well, that's a shame. That was great! Wow, that was amazing! Those guys are amazing! Was that for charity or something? I don't know. The great American college students say these words. Inspired, they go off to classes, paid for by distant suburban parents, and prepare to be recruited for $90,000 a year.